Yo, what's going on, Monday morning nomads and drifting podcast listeners? I'm Brian.
And I'm Monica.
And welcome to Backspace Nomads, where we share our nerve for gaming, movies, and all the dork in between. On today's podcast, we're talking about Nintendo Direct. We look at Fortnite on mobile, and then we preview last week's game releases and the good, the bad, the indie. It's March 11th, and it's episode 50, so let's start the show. Monica, what have you been up to?
I've been living in the air, meaning I've been flying a bunch of different places and traveling a lot. So, but a couple cool things happened this week for me. I went and did an escape room.
Ooh.
Have you ever, you know what those are, right? It's where they put you in a room and you're supposed to follow clues and figure things out in order to escape the room. I did it with work. Had to go to a convention, and it was our team bonding experience. And I'm not going to lie, I was very concerned. I thought that this was going to be one of the most awful experiences of my life. I was going to be locked in a small room with people that I do not always like. We all have very conflicting personalities at times, and we were going to be stuck in a room trying to figure things out for an hour. I was like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
But it was pretty fun. It was actually entertaining. We did get out in time. We had an hour to escape the room. We escaped with 1 minute to spare, which was intense.
Yeah.
But I also found
the wire.
There were 6 people in our group, and I found that towards the end of the escape room experience, I was just not really saying much anymore because everyone got so excited. The CEO of my company was like, my worst nightmare happened. I was trying to do so much, and I had and nothing that I was doing had served any purpose. He was taking things down. He was like writing notes, like scribbling. Like it was like we were trying to figure out like ancient artifacts or whatever. I felt like I was in Tomb Raider, but I was just locked in some shitty room. In this, like, regular, it looked like a store. It looked like a store, and you walk in, and then they had just set up. But it was fun.
Do you feel more bonded with your coworkers? Like you're more cohesive team?
No.
Okay.
No, but it was fun. I felt a little bit like it was going to be a corny experience. I felt like it was going to be a corny experience, and I did really enjoy it. But another really rad thing happened while we were out there is that one of an old streamer buddy of mine has a board game that he's been working on called Don't Get Drunk. And it is a drinking game. And he brought his prototype, and it's actually coming out on Kickstarter later this month.
No way.
Yeah, so I got to try out this game that is going to be on Kickstarter and played it, and I really enjoyed it. It was really fun, and I felt kind of cool that I got to experience a game before it was actually, released.
Did you get drunk?
I was already drunk when I started, which was problematic, and then I proceeded to get much more drunk. In fact, I tweeted out some of the aftermath of that, which was me hyena laughing at the top of my lungs. It sounded like a siren. As one of my coworkers was dancing with a giant mask that was in this Airbnb that we stayed at with face.
Man.
Yeah. Just times with Monica. What about you? What have you been up to?
I'm just living the streamer life now over on my channel, and I came up with a meme that I feel like has given me more backlash than anything controversial I've ever said on this podcast.
I know. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah. I have a joke that not a lot of people get. I play Fortnite all the time. And so the developer of Fortnite is Epic Games, of course, obviously. They have a massive hit on their hand. But every time I refer to the developer of Fortnite, I like to call them Blizzard. It happened one day. I was like, this would be funny. And it got such a reaction. I haven't said anything that my chat blew up or that the YouTube section of my channel blew up. Like both of those, like the minute I said Blizzard, it was like 50 messages just like washed over the channel. Like, you mean Epic, right? And I just thought to myself, no, Blizzard.
Yeah.
The people who made Overwatch, and then have another hit on their hand, Fortnite. So ever since then, I've been doing it, and the amount of hatred that's on the internet for me because I call Epic Blizzard is outrageous.
I've seen some of it. People get very upset with you and think, like, I've seen comments where you're not giving credit where it's due, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it's you've sparked unrest amongst the people.
And it's the funniest thing I've ever done, because like I've on my Twitter account, I've posted like fake searches on Bing that say like who made Fortnite, and I, Photoshop edited that like Blizzard popped up, and the amount of hate is just outrageous. Like people are so concerned that I have to know that Epic made this, and I love them for like wanting to, inform me of my mistakes
consistently.
But they're very forceful in the way they try to correct me.
You idiot. Yeah. It's funny though. I feel like, how long are you going to keep it up? Forever?
If I had a nickel, as long as I can. There was a time I was going to stop it, but because I was getting so much hate for it that I kind of felt bad about it one day. I was like, why does everyone hate me? And then my community rallied around me. And now it's going to go on, I guess, forever. I play with other streamers and I say Blizzard, and like they say like, oh, you mean Epic, right? I'm like, So it just keeps going on. So probably never, because if you got a good thing, why stop?
Right. Yeah. Agreed.
So other than that, dude, I heard about the Division 2 being launched, and I'm not going to get too into it because I only have so much hatred left in my body after all this Blizzard stuff. Ubisoft has announced Division 2, and I deeply loved Division 1 until a certain point, and then the game just took such a downward spiral for me that it consumed a lot of hate inside of me, and like just my body for a long time. And now there's going to be a second one, and I thought like, how dare they? And then I went and read it, and I was like, they dare, because now I'm interested in the Division 2, and I don't know how Ubisoft does this to me. They do it all the time where I just hate them and I hate them. And then they just announce something that I'd want, and now I'm back in love with them. It is the worst relationship I've ever had in my life. I can't stop going back to Ubisoft. It doesn't treat me well.
They show up with flowers and you're like, oh, I guess all of those other things weren't okay. But little did you know that the flowers are laced with poison.
They show up with flowers, chocolates, and the promises that I can continue my Division 1 character into Division 2. So thank you. Now I'm back. We'll see how it goes. I think he's going to engage to me soon. I don't know. But let's move into the show then. Did you look at Nintendo Direct?
I did. I did.
On March 8th, Nintendo had their yearly Look at Us Nintendo Direct, where they showcase all the new exciting games coming to their platform. And they had some like bombs being announced to this. My first one, like the first game that got me excited, and this isn't like one of the bombs, this is kind of like one of the nerd, like dork things I love in my life. WarioWare. Have you ever played WarioWare?
I haven't actually. And what makes you so excited about it, I guess?
WarioWare is like, it is the dumbest mini game that there is. What it involves is you just playing like very simple games for like 30 seconds, and then you just move on to the next one. And there's something about like, just where I guess my attention span has been destroyed enough to where like all I want is 30 seconds of this, and then I want to move on to something new and funny. And like, so the ones I remember, it's like, press the lever down on the toaster to toast, and that's it. You do that, and then you move on to the next game.
That's funny.
Like you shoot one arrow across the screen, and then that's it, and you're done. You move on to the next game, and they'll have. And I think this one is something north of like 160 of these that they put together into this game. It just, I don't know what it is. I love it, and like, it's coming out on the 3DS, and like I don't own a 3DS. Why are they? Is the 3DS still viable? Like, who plays a 3DS when they have a Switch?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Apparently, I know what to get you for Christmas.
What?
an old broken down 3DS from eBay.
I'm so excited. Get me a Warrior Edition, all right?
Okay, I will.
What's something from Nintendo Direct that you loved?
So looking at this new art style that was presented, I don't know if you should call it new, but HD 2D that was presented for Octopath Traveler was just really blew me away. I'm looking at stills of it right now, and I feel like this art style shouldn't be as exciting as it is. It's not like it's really anything too insane, but it just creates. So Octopath Traveler is definitely a retro game, and it creates this crazy unique environment that just doesn't exist when you're only looking at 2D. So it's a 3D environment basically, and it blows me away. Yeah. I feel like this is one of those things where it's almost making me seem like a simple person by being this impressed by it, but I'm really impressed by it.
No, it's I get, like, among other things, I love it. And you know, the 2D wrapped onto the 3D shell, like the 2D pixel art, is not incredibly new. Like, we were just had the guys on from Starmancer that had this, right?
Right.
So that's new, but what they've done in this game is actually make it feel like it used to when you're playing on the Super Nintendo. Like, everything is like scaled down in a way. Like, it is. It looks like a Super Nintendo RPG that's like a diorama or whatever that just like got popped up, and like now that's the way you're gonna look at it.
Yes, that's what it. That's perfect. That's a perfect example. It's a diorama of an RPG. And you have your little paper figures that you stick in there, and you can move them around and act them out.
I love it. I love it.
It's bizarrely attractive.
It just works so well.
Yes, I don't know. I'm really, really excited. I'm sure the story, and you know, I would have to play the game a little bit to have a feeling of.
There's gonna be like 8 characters, so I guess that's where they get the name, like Octopath. Like, we're all intertwining our paths, but the thing I love about the combat system is they're putting another jobs combat system. And I love a Square Enix game that revolves around a job system. I love it. Like, I loved it in Final Fantasy Tactics. I loved it in Final Fantasy 3. I'm a massive fan of this, like, this is your job, this is how your character plays, but you can change it and it's going to affect the way your stats apply to this. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I am so ready to play Octopath. I am way more excited for this than I was about the new Zelda being released on the Switch. I am way more excited about Octopath. I don't even know why.
Yeah. It's the diorama, dude. It's the diorama.
It's the diorama finally coming back. And I guess the most exciting announcement coming out of Nintendo Direct that is shaping the world, Splatoon's 2. Oh, no, wait. Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers is coming out onto the Nintendo Switch in 2018, and the world melted down, apparently.
They did. I also have to say that it was not long ago when I was walking through Target looking at games, and I was like, why is Smash Brothers not out? Like, where is it?
Yeah.
It should be here. This is fucking ridiculous. And it's now, I don't know, I feel kind of embarrassed and ashamed of myself for yelling that loudly and audibly in Target when I'm standing there by myself. But it's here now. It's coming 2018. And yes, you're right. The way that they presented it, the game itself was pretty strong. Like, if you watch this clip, the video, it was an intense. I got goosebumps for sure. But audiences went ham. This was like Black Friday.
Oh my God. That response, I guess they were inside of a Nintendo store or something, but the group of people that were watching it, and there's just one character like jumping around with a backpack, and then like you see the Smash Brothers logo in the Splatoon character's eye in the pupil. And when you saw that store melted down. It was like it's like David Bowie came to the stage or something, and everyone was just going crazy. What is it about Nintendo and Smash Brothers that just gets people like out of their minds insane to play this game? Like, what is it?
I definitely had a response watching it.
Mhm.
My response was not to jump up and down, smash people in the face,
That
uh,
poor girl.
run, jump around, scream, like wiggle, fall onto the floor, hyperventilating. Those are
Yeah.
not responses that I've had much in my life in general, unless I was very fearful of something. Um, but but yeah, I guess when I saw these reactions to the presentation, I I was shocked, and I was
Yeah.
thinking, like, what really have I seen that is on par with this? I remember a few when I was a child. I remember a few women going ham over some Beanie Babies that we'd been standing in line for. That was a very similar experience. I have very few experiences, and also just like Black Friday when I really participated in this years ago when
Yeah.
consumerism was even stronger than it is now, and like everyone went to the store to go to these things. I saw some shit there too,
I've
but
seen some.
I don't know. Is there anything? When's the last time you've had a reaction like that?
I'm not sure I've ever had a reaction like that. I don't know if like I'm just devoid of a soul or something, but I've never had an announcement that I was like doing cartwheels and jumping into a girl's face with my chest out of excitement. Like I've never been there. I don't know if I don't love anything that much. Um
Maybe we should practice. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to practice our excitement levels so that we know what it feels like. So then the next time something that we are excited about comes out, we can actively participate in a manner that makes other people fearful and
Did you know we
and
can
possibly injured.
Here's what we can do because we're at like the dumbest. We can go to TwitchCon when they do like their Twitch yearly where they announce new features. When they announce like some back end feature that's like really mundane, we'll just lose it and we'll just go
Okay.
off like, oh
Let's go
man,
ham. Yep, I'm
they
down for
increased
that.
the uploading speed for videos. What? Like just go nuts.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down.
Hopefully we get thrown out. I don't know. Fingers
Could be a good
crossed.
story. Be a good
Uh,
story.
uh, so that was Nintendo Direct. Nintendo continues to like get me hyped for their platforms, and
Hmm.
I don't even have time to play their games, but I'm so happy that someone does, and that I get to like see other people's enjoyment of it. Like they continue to blow you away with what they're putting out on their things. Can you imagine playing Smash Brothers on the Twitch, like across on the Switch across from somebody? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you both have your Switches out and you're just looking at
Oh
each other,
yeah.
like, "Let's go!" All right,
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
yeah.
It really is going to be awesome.
Did you see the article about Fortnite coming to the mobile device?
I did, but I definitely curious as to how you feel about it.
Ooh, I feel strongly.
Yeah.
Um, I'm I've gotten addicted to games in my life. Fortnite's one of the largest addictions I've experienced with gaming.
Hmm.
Um, I stop playing Fortnite and I go away and I eat some dinner or something, and then honest to God,
You
Scout's
think
on,
about
or
it.
I start thinking about it. I
Hmm.
lay down at night thinking about Fortnite, like I am consumed with it.
Hmm.
Um, and so then they just want to wreck all my time and put it on the mobile device. And when I say put it on the mobile device, this isn't like, the early 2000s where they do a bad port of Assassin's Creed with horrible pixel art. This is the full game,
Hmm.
just the way you play it on the computer, just the way you play it on the PS4, just on a cell phone.
Hmm.
The most interesting part is that there is crossplay between consoles, PC, and mobile users. And I don't
How?
know.
How?
I don't know. I don't know how they're pulling it off. I'm concerned about what they're thinking, but they are putting it, you can crossplay. I don't know.
How is that even fair though? Because the way you're going to be playing on mobile, I can't imagine that it's going to be the same way that.
I don't know. I don't even know how like you would move. I don't know how you shoot. Um like do you like like when you do a sniper scope, do you just put your fingers up and
Just
like you're expanding a picture or something? Is that how you zoom
yeah.
in? I know there's like Bluetooth keyboards and mouse out there. I have a Bluetooth keyboard for my cell phone.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if there's controllers out there. Maybe that's a thing. Um, maybe this is like the next step for mobile gaming where like we are using the mobile device as a TV screen, and then
Right.
we're using peripherals Bluetooth to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I just feel like I'm going to destroy kids on the mobile. I've been making fun of people
Yeah.
already.
I don't
Like,
see how you can be competitive if
yeah,
you're up against. I just don't see how that's even possible.
I don't know. Very shrewd mood from Blizzard though, because all these, it is a microtransaction game. It's free to play, right?
Mhm.
And what a better platform for free to play. You gotta buy this to look better than the mobile device.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very true. It's very true.
So
You can pay all the money to never win because you're playing on mobile. Yeah.
you're gonna look good doing it though. You're
Yeah.
gonna look good doing it.
Yeah, it's interesting how there's more and more emphasis on mobile, and using your mobile device as a screen to play a game like Fortnite. It's one of those things where I'm going to say this now, and then in like 2 years, like that's going to be what everyone's doing. But I'm like, how is that pop? That's not going to happen. Like that's not, your mobile screen will never, but or we're just going to start walking around like with huge TVs as phones, but I know that things are heading in that direction, and mobile games are a huge component of, like, any type of phone. You would even mentioned that, there's gaming phones out there now.
Yeah. Razer has a gaming phone now.
Right.
They took it upon themselves to, I think they bought out some company. They didn't just start this from scratch, but they said, we're going to make a phone that is dedicated to gaming, which is, I think, no, it's not the first time it's done. It's the first time it's been done successfully, I think.
Yeah.
And turns out that an amazing gaming phone is also an amazing cell phone, because the thing runs really smooth. Like, it's one of the best cell phones on the market. But oh wait, you just turn it sideways. Now you got two front facing speakers, and you got a extraordinary gaming device.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting. I think it's kind of like there's this like moment that's starting to happen for mobile gaming, where before it's just been like these really tongue in cheek games based around like, building forts or whatnot, and bases. And now maybe this is the moment for mobile gaming where they kind of escape the orbit of this kind of weird realm they've been hovering around in.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
So I don't know. I'm interested to see where it goes. I know on the stream, like anytime I kill someone who's just like standing there not looking in what they're doing, I'm like, oh, how are you enjoying the Fortnite mobile experience? I'm blown away by the crossplay. I don't know how they pull that off, but
yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
we'll have to do a follow up.
We will, and I can't wait. I can't wait to play it. All right, we're gonna go to break, and when we come back, we're going to be doing the good, the bad, the indie, where we preview all of last week's releases in gaming. See you after the break. Thank you for sitting through that break, Nomads. Coming back, we're going to be taking a look at the good, the bad, the indie for the week. The good, the bad, the indie is where we look through all the new releases in gaming to give you our opinion on what games you should be playing, the ones you should avoid, and the indie game that you need to put on your radar. On this episode, we're looking at games released between March 4th and March 10th. So our good for the week is Vermintide 2, developed and published by Fat Shark. It was released on March 8th, 2018 to the PC. This is the sequel to the critically acclaimed Vermintide, which is a visually stunning and groundbreaking melee action game pushing the boundaries of the first-person co-op genre. Join the fight now. Monica, what do you think about Vermintide 2?
I am very, very excited for this. I am a glutton for good multiplayer games, and I feel like they're extremely hard to come by. And this is a game that I could easily see my friends and I killing one another over. The next time we actually hang out in person, starting up a verbal argument on who really dropped the ball, because Vermintide 2 is a difficult game. It is a challenging game, and the conquest that you can feel with it is really what you're aiming for. But that doesn't come with a lot of loss and frustration. So I am super excited about it. And not only that, but the graphics on this seem like much better than Vermintide. Vermintide was the original was great in and of itself.
Yeah.
But just watching some of the gameplay here, it's really exciting.
Yeah. I played the first one for a little bit. The PC I had at the time wasn't strong enough of a little computer to handle the graphics the first one was putting out. But
the little computer that couldn't.
The little computer that couldn't. He's no longer with us. So even with like my limited PC, I was still enjoying the game. I'm a huge Warhammer fan. I used to play it as a child, like the actual miniatures and creating armies and stuff. So I just love the IP and the world that's involved in it. So now that I have a better PC that I can play on, I am super stoked to get in this game because, like you said, the graphics are stunning. It really looks like they just took up like everything from the first one and just like ratcheted it up and like made it better and funner and smarter.
Yeah. One of the things that I also really like about this, and this is a personal, opinion, but the way the game's set up is you're playing multiplayer, and your cast of characters are all really interesting. You're playing an elf, a dwarf, human. And it's a very interesting combination of characters with what you're up against. I love fantasy worlds. And so I feel like this game really allows you to dive into the kind of imaginary fantasy world because it's so intense. So you're really locked in, you're really concentrating. It's kind of a high pressure situation. And to me, it makes it feel like you're almost in one of those battle scenes of a film.
Yeah. Definitely. This game kind of, I don't know if this is the first game to do this. It may have been, the only one that springs to mind was Left 4 Dead, where it's like, this is almost a clone of Left 4 Dead in that regard, where it puts 4 players in like a horde of enemies. And so it's like you said, with it being cinematic, there's just nothing but these like Skavens and chaos characters and orcs just like piling in on you and like creating the moment of like, how are we going to get through this? We're all about to be dead. And then it comes out and you're all victorious. I am completely stoked for this. I love the career options in this one. I didn't play the other game deep enough to get into the career section. I was just a basic whatever hero you pick. There's 5 heroes, and then there's 15 career paths for you to go down with that hero. And so you can really play the game how you want to, and like kind of build your own character while still sticking to like the kind of story arc they want you to play through.
Right. I also feel like the price on this is right when it's $30, and I feel like the amount of gameplay that you can get out of this is 100% worth that. In fact, I feel like they could have pushed the envelope a little bit with the price. But I'm very happy that it stands where it is. Any less and it would have been like, what's wrong with this thing? Any more and it would have been like, oh, and I feel like they hit the perfect price point, and a very reasonable one.
Yeah. The price is so weird now. It's either like I want it to be free or I want it to be $30. That's it. Like anywhere aside that, I feel like I'm getting ripped off or taken advantage of for something.
Yeah, it's just got to go higher than that. I mean, you're really only looking at like, the $59 or $60 price point.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one to sell.
Yeah.
It's got to be really good.
Inflation's hit us all. We can't be buying those $60 games anymore. I definitely want to play this game. Like, I would love to play this game with you. I don't know if you like me as a game player. We don't game together often. Have we ever played a game together?
Brian, I don't know if we've ever played a game together.
We played Rust once together when you were streaming. I jumped in.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Okay. All right.
I think we were both pretty drunk. It was really fun. I kept yelling about baguettes.
Oh yeah. We should play this together.
Right, we should do it then.
We can have a drinking night. It will go horribly.
Ooh, drinking night. Now I'm excited about it. It's gonna be the worst or the best drinking night failure I've ever had. So why is it all with you? Good. Why can't I ever have a good drinking night with you?
Oh, wait, it won't be good?
No, it'd be good, but in a bad way. I never have a respectable drinking night where we just polish off a few cocktails and we're like, oh,
let's look at the stock market.
We're well-adjusted adults. If we don't do that.
Yeah.
Let's move into the bad for the week. Probably one of my favorite ones we've looked at so far for the bads. This would be the bloody and cruel story of toys. A game about bloody and cruel story of toys. That is the description for
Bloody and cruel
story of toys.
Story of toys. So, you know, I just recently watched Toy Story, so I understand that toys can have like some types of, you know, dynamics amongst them that can create animosity, you know, and imagining Toy Story and like seeing where like, you know, that animosity could head if you had some, you know, possible mental health issues en route. I still would not have ever imagined this game. This game is awful looking. I am not quite sure what these toys are that you are supposedly playing as. They look like those little sponges that you can put in water and they expand out, that they never put them in the water. And those aren't really toys. They're more of a science experiment. But what really gets me is that outside of just the poor art style here and the very confusing looking toys, I'm using quotations here. The about the game it almost sold it for me at a $5 price point. Do you love hardcore shooters?
Do I?
I have something to offer you. A story of war and peace, funny and bloody platformer with strategy elements and unpredictable finale. A game about bloody and cruel story of toys. I have no clue what the hell is going on here. It just seems like you're running around in this really not toyish atmosphere as one of these things that you're supposed to expand in water, and you're just shooting things with what looks to be a magic wand because that shit is not a gun.
Dude, I don't know what toys this kid played with when he was a kid. These are not toys. These are very uncomfortable looking objects. They got like bad ripoff of Mario, like the little block things the rock guy that would drop down with the spikes. Like they got weird looking ones. All this stuff looks like inflatable balloons that like his parents would throw at him once they didn't make an actual object. Like they failed at making the balloon and they just like threw it at him, like, play with this, young one.
It almost looks like they could be like gummy bears or something too, you know?
Yes.
Like maybe he didn't get toys as a child, and so he or she only had to play with gummy bears.
Or Jello. So. These look like Jello cubes that you would eat in a platter.
Yeah.
It's the bloody and cruel story of Jello cubes. So that wonderful game was released March 7th by WTF OM Games. Catchy. $49.99. I'm sorry, $4.99.
Oh my God. I wish it cost that much. I wish it cost that much. I really do.
Look at the UI for this game. Like, it's just got the worst of everything.
Amazing.
It's on sale now for $2.99 if you're so inclined. But let's move on to the indie for the week.
Yay!
Chuchel. Chuchel is a comedy adventure game from Ammonite Designs, where you join the hairy hero and his rival as they will be facing numerous puzzles and challenges in their quest to retrieve the precious cherries. Released March 7th. You can pick it up on Steam for $9.99. What do you think about Chuchel here?
This game has been extremely, extremely well received, and it's no surprise why. It is a puzzle game, and there are a ton of puzzle games out there. I mean, they come out every week. Every type of game comes out almost every single week. But puzzle games are a dime a dozen. And in order for you to break out of the mold of a puzzle game, you really have to have something unique and interesting added. And Chuchel definitely delivers in that aspect with the art style alone. It almost looks like you are watching a storybook, minimalistic, just the characters on blank pages. And the characters are so well done and so intriguing.
Very intriguing. This game looks like it's an Adult Swim cartoon or something. This does not look like a video game at all. And I don't know how they pulled it off. Like you're saying, it's minimal. There's not like one UI element in this entire game. If I didn't even know any better, I'd probably be buying this game for my niece, like as a Christmas present. I'm like, oh, look at this adorable little children book for you. She's going to love it. Everything looks like little cutouts. I am so impressed with this game and what they're able to do with it.
It has a lot of humor elements to it. So it's a lot of people have part of it being well received. It's not just a puzzle game. You're going to enjoy it. It gives me almost like a Raymond's Rabbids like vibe with the goofiness of the characters.
Yeah.
And I really, really do enjoy Raymond's Rabbids. Another thing is a lot of the reviews that are out there talk about how this game kind of just like cuddles you. It's like it's so adorable and so fun and unique that it softens you and just warms you up when you're cold. And I like that in the game. Anyway, I really feel like this is a unique experience, and it breaks out of the puzzle game mold 100%. Like you wouldn't look at this and think, oh, this is a puzzle game, you know?
Absolutely. It draws like a weird parallel to me, like to like Cuphead from earlier or in 2017, where it's like the way indie games are pushing unique art styles into gaming and just like taking it and running with it. Like I love to see that, and I want to see more of that. And the guys over at Amanita, and all their hard names they make all their games with, they are just doing a fantastic job. I can't wait to play this game. I'm probably going to check this one out if I can find the time, because it just looks beautiful. I want to play it.
It really does.
So that's the good, the bad, the indie for the week. We're going to take off out of here. That's going to do it for episode 50 of the Backspace Nomads. If you're on YouTube, make sure you can like or subscribe to it. Comment in the section. It helps us out. Also, if you're on any of the podcast platforms, do the same. And that's going to be it. Next week, we're going to have on Jack from Nerd Out Music for episode 51. Until then, we'll see you Nomads later.
See ya.